So good morning all my dear students. Now I am starting with the next part of probability distributions. So in my previous video I had just given you the basic definitions of probability distributions, what and all you should be knowing in probability distributions, and I had started with some of the important concepts of continuous random variables and discrete random variables, correct? So I had just given you the definitions and how to find the mean and variance of continuous and discrete random variables or discrete probability functions. So in this part we will again go through the important problems in this part, I mean in continuous and discrete probability distribution functions. Okay, so before starting with the problems I'll just go definition once again. So the discrete probability distribution, we tell that it's a discrete probability distribution if these two conditions are satisfied. What are the two conditions? The probability of x, that is the value of p of x, should be always greater than or equal to 0, means we should not have negative value for a probability. And second condition is sum of the probability of x should be always equal to 1, means the total probability value should be always equal to 1. As I said, now tossing a coin, the probability of getting head is 1 by 2, right? And the probability of getting tail is obviously 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is how much? 1. So that is what they are telling. The sum of the total probability should be always equal to 1. If these two conditions are satisfied, then we tell that it's a probability distribution function. Okay, now how will you find the mean and variance of the discrete probability function? See, all these formulas you make a note, then only it will be easy for you to solve any problems whatever they give. So then p of x is called as probability function. Now mean of this discrete probability distribution is given by mu is equal to expectation of x. And how do you calculate that expectation of x? Summation of x into p of x. Remember my dear students, discrete means it is always summing up, adding up, because there will be finite number of terms. When it comes to continuous, there will be infinitely many numbers, many terms. That's why we use integration. Okay, so mean of discrete is given by summation of x into p of x, and variance is given by, see here, variance we have two different formulas. Either you can go with x minus mean the whole square into p of x, or simply expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. Whichever you feel easy, you can use it. Okay, but how do you calculate expectation of x square? It is summation of x square into p of x. Mean is x into p of x. Expectation of x square is x square into p of x. Okay, then standard deviation is simply root of variance. So if you know these basic definitions properly, any problems on this discrete you can solve it very easily. Okay, next, the previous slide I said about discrete probability distribution. Now I'll tell with continuous probability distribution. So here what are the conditions? The same conditions, that the probability of f of x means probability of x, it should be always greater than 0, and also integration from minus infinity to infinity. That's what I was speaking about. In discrete it is summation, but in continuous it is integration. Integration should be always equal to 1. Okay, then again, how do you calculate mean? Same notation, expectation of x, that is x into f of p of x. So integration from minus infinity to infinity. And again variance, two formulas. Either you can go for expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square, or expectation of x minus mu the whole square, or that is equal to integration from minus infinity to infinity x minus mu the whole square into p of x. So my suggestion is you can go for this formula, that would be easier. Okay, in this continuous, any formula you can use it, no problem. Okay, so this is all about discrete and continuous. Now I'll go with the problem. So I have my first problem here. Show that the following distribution represents a discrete probability distribution, and then find its mean and variance. So first thing, if it is a discrete probability distribution, what are the conditions should be satisfied? The p of x should be always greater than or equal to 0. Just check whether the p of x values are greater than or equal to 0. Yes, 1 by 8 positive, 3 by 8 positive, 3 by 8 positive, 1 by 8 positive. All these values are greater than or equal to 0. And what is the second condition? Here, and second condition is summation of p of x should be equal to 1. See whether when you add all this, we will get 1. 1 by 8 plus 3 by 8, 4 by 8. 4 by 8 plus 3 by 8, 4 plus 3, 7 by 8. 7 by 8 plus 1 by 8, 8 by 8, correct? So 8 by 8 is 1. So summation of p of x is 1. Therefore we can tell that what? The given probability function is, the given p of x is a discrete probability distribution function. Okay. Now I will calculate mean. Mean is nothing but summation of p of x into p of x, correct? So this is simply multiplication you have to do. 10 into 1 by 8 plus 20 into 3 by 8 plus 30 into 3 by 8 plus 40 into 1 by 8. That's it. That is mean. Okay. So just check here. Since the denominator is same for all, I have written it 8 directly. So 10 into 1 is 10, 20 into 3 is 60, 30 into 3 is 90, 40 into 1 is 40, and whole divided by 8. That is your mean. Okay. Now how do you calculate variance? I have written the formula over here. See, I said you there are two formulas. In this problem I have used this formula, but in the next problem I use different formula, so that whichever you want you can use it. So variance is summation of x minus mu the whole square into p of x. So in the first case x is 10 minus how much is mu? 25. So 10 minus 25 the whole square into 1 by 8 plus 20 minus 25 into 3 by 8, 30 minus 25 into 3 by 8, 40 minus 25 into 1 by 8. Just check the calculations, see here. So 10 minus 25 is 15, 15 square is 225 into 1 by 8 plus x minus mu the whole square. So 20 minus 25, 5 square 25 into 3 by 8 plus 30 minus 25, 5, again 5 square 25 into 3 by 8 plus 40 minus 25, 15, 15 square is 225 into 1 by 8. So finally I will get variance as 600 by 8, or that is equal to 75. Okay. So this is a simple problem, like just a basic example of how to find mean and variance. So I will go with the next problem now. Okay. Read this question very carefully, my dear students. Instead of giving directly the table of x and p of x, they have given you in terms of wordings, and this is like what I can tell you, in competitive exams most of the time it will be this type of problems. Okay. So for a sealed box containing a dozen apples, what does it indicate? There are how many apples? Dozen means 12 apples, and it is found that 3 apples are perished. Perished means what? A standard English they have mentioned, but it is nothing but rotten. Okay. 3 apples are rotten. Obtain the probability distribution of the number of perished apple, means how many apples have been rotten when 2 apples are drawn random. Also find the mean and variance of this distribution. So what they are telling you, obtain the probability distribution for number of apples when 2 apples are drawn from random. So what does that indicate? Actually there are 12 apples. From that 12 apples, how many apples I have to select? 2 apples I have to select randomly. Okay. Then they are telling that what is the probability that the 2 apples selected are perished. Perished means they are rotten. Okay. See, when I select 2 apples, there may be a chances that both the apples can be rotten, right? First condition. Or both the apples can be the good apple. Or third option is either one apple may be rotten and one apple may be good one. Correct? So there are 3 chances. I will take those chances as 0, 1 and 2. Okay, just check my wordings. Let x be the number of perished apple, means let x be the number of rotten apples. See, always whenever you go for a probability, no, you should always take what is x. X, it should be always the like what to tell, always the expected one we have to take, what they have asked you in the question. See here, obtain the probability distribution of number of perished apples, so that should be taken as x always. Okay. So let x be the number of perished apple. Next they are telling that we can select how many apples? 2 apples. Since 2 apples were drawn, we have x is equal to 0 chances, 1 chances or 2 chances, correct? Getting rotten apple. So I might get 0 rotten apples, or I might get 1 rotten apple, or I might get both the rotten apples. Am I right? So if they had given you 3 apples over here, then 0, 1, 2, 3. Got an idea? Okay. So the 2 rotten apple can be selected in how many ways? 3 ways. Okay. Now they are telling you 2 out of 12 should be selected in how many ways? 12 C2 ways, correct? See, always combination can be done in 12C2 ways. They are telling you 2 apples should be drawn from a box containing of dozen apples. So it is 12C2 ways. Proper? Okay. Now, so in this, what I can tell you, there are 12 apples. In that, how many are rotten? 3. So I am telling that in this, 9 are good apples, 3 are rotten apples, perished or rotten apples. So hence we have combinations. Probability of x equal to 0. What is the probability of getting 0 perished apple? 0 means 0 rotten apple. That is simply 3C0. That is, there are 3 apples, rotten apples. In that I am getting 0 rotten apple into 9C2. What is this 9C2? 9 are good apples. In that I have to select how many apples? 2 apples. Am I right? Correct? So it is 3C0 into 9C2 divided by total number of possibilities. So here 3C0 is for selecting the 0 apple, and 9C2 is total number of the apples which are remaining. So 3 plus 9 is 12 and 0 plus 2 is 2. Am I right? See here, 12C2. Will I get the 12C2? Yes. Divided by 12C2, or that is nothing but 6 by 11. You can use calculator. Okay. So check my previous video. You'll get the definition properly. Okay. So it is total number of possibility, number of winning, or that is a numerator, divided by the total number of chances. The probability of getting 0 is nothing but 3C0 into 9C2 divided by total number of possibilities. How much? 12C2. Correct? Next, getting 1. So it is 3C1 into 9C1. Correct? So because out of these 2 apples, whatever I select, one may be rotten, one may be a good apple. See here. See, this 3 is nothing but the 3 rotten apples. In that, the chances of getting one rotten apple is 3C1. And remaining 9 are good apple. So in that, getting one good apple, right? So here 0 rotten apple, 2 good apple. In second case, 1 rotten apple, 1 good apple. And in third case, 2 rotten apples and 0 good apples. Correct? Correct? So that is nothing but 1 by 22. So now how will I go for the table? Are you clear with these steps? I'll explain again. Just listen here. First case, what I have written here is probability of x equal to 0. 0 means getting 0 rotten apple. That is 3C0. Agree. But actually there are how many apples? 12 apples. So 9C2. So 3C0 is rotten apple, 9C2 is good apple, divided by total number of possibilities. Then probability of getting one perished apple means one rotten apple. So out of 3 I might get one rotten apple. So 3C1 into 9C1. Correct? Then probability of getting 2 rotten apples. So it will be 3C2 into 9C0 divided by 12C2. Okay. So then my probability distribution table is as follows. So 0, 1, 2, its probability. Then find out mean and variance. So how to find out mean and variance? I had explained in the previous problem also. Mean is nothing but summation of xi into p of xi. So 6 by 11 into 0 is 0. 9 by 22 into 1 is 9 by 22. 1 by 22 into 2 is 2 by 22, or that is equal to 11 by 22, or mean is 1 by 2. Then variance is, what is this formula? This is simply expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. Correct? See, why I took this formula, I mean in this format, is because sometimes in the question they might give like this also, calculate. So you might get confused. That's why I have written both the formulas. Okay, first problem was in different way. In this problem I have taken this as a formula. So xi square into p. So 0 square is 0 into this term is 0. Then 1 square is 1 into 9 by 22 is 9 by 22. Xi square, 2 square is 4. 4 into 1 by 22 is 4 by 22. Minus mu square. Mu is how much? 1 by 2. Its square is 1 by 4. Our final answer, I'll get it as 15 by 44. Okay. So this problem was a very old pattern problem. Okay. But in recent years, they have not asked this problem. So don't worry. If you have understood, well and good. If not, you just contact me. I'll tell you again. Okay. So the mean is 1 by 2. Variance is 15 by 44. Next. So this is one more simple problem which I did in the first problem. Similar one. Find the mean and variance. Find the mean and variance of the probability distribution function by giving the which is given in the following table. So how do you calculate mean? Mean is simply x into p of x. So I just shown you the calculation. 0 into 0.2 plus 1 into 3.5 0.35 plus 2 into 0.25 plus 3 into 0.15 plus 4 into 0.05. So it is 1.8. Variance is c. Expectation of x square, correct, minus expectation of x the whole square. Expectation of x is mean already, which we have got, or I am using the notation mu in the previous problem. Just you can slide it and you can just check in the previous problem what formula I have taken. This is the same formula what I have taken in the previous problem also. Okay, so now expectation of x square is nothing but x square into p of x. So x square, 0 square into 0.2 plus 1 square into 0.35 plus 2 square into 0.25 and so on, that we will get it as 4.4. So finally variance is expectation of x square, that is 4.4, minus expectation of x the whole square, that is 1.8 the whole square, or I will get it as 1.16. okay. And one more thing, my dear students, don't be in a conclusion that the mean and variance whatever you obtained, it should be less than 1. No. Only the probability value should be always less than or equal to 1. I am repeating again, only the probability value should be always less than or equal to 1. Mean, variance, standard deviation, that is not at all related to probability. Okay. I am going with the next problem now. So just check here. The PDF of a random variable x is given in the following table. What they are telling you? Already they are telling that the table is a PDF, means it is a probability distribution function. So using that condition, you find the value of k. How to find the value of k? So what are the, okay, my first question, what are the conditions for a probability distribution function? The value of p of x should be always positive, that is first condition, and second condition is what? The summation of all these values should be always equal to how much? 1, correct? So that is what I will take here. Since p of x is a probability distribution function, we know that summation of p of x should be equal to 1, means these values k plus 2k plus 3k plus 4k plus 3k plus 2k plus k should be always equal to 1. So just count how many k's are there. 16k is equal to 1, or k is equal to 1 by 16. You understood how to find the value of k? We are not proving that this is equal to 1. They are already telling that it is equal to 1. Using that condition, we are finding the value of k. That's it. Okay, done. Now I'll just substitute the k values here. So my p of x is 1 by 16, 2 by 16, 3 by 16, 4 into k, that is 4 by 16, 3 into k, 3 by 16, 2 into k is 2 by 16, simply k it is 1 by 16. Okay, clear? Okay, so did I answer my first question? What is the value of k? So k is 1 by 16. Now how to get this? Find probability of x less than or equal to 1. What does that indicate? Less than or equal to means what? Which and all value should I take? Minus 3 is less than or equal to 1? Yes. Minus 2? Yes. Minus 1? Yes. 0? Yes. And 1? Less than or equal to 1. So I should consider 1 also. So I have to add all these probabilities, that will give me this value. Okay, just check here. So probability of x less than or equal to 1 is probability of minus 3 plus minus 2 plus minus 1 plus 0 plus 1. Proper? All the values before 1 I should consider from 1. Okay, less than or equal to, less than or equal to, the symbol is less than or equal to. So just substitute the values and add it. 13 by 16. This is one way of doing. Okay, now I'll tell you another way of doing it. We call it as reverse engineering. Why I call it as reverse engineering? Just check. See, my table consists of from the value minus 3 up to which value? I think plus 3, correct? Minus 3 to plus 3. Now that asked me to find probability of x less than or equal to 1. See, you can simply write this as 1 minus probability of x greater than 1. Is it so? See, you know that summation of all the probabilities is 1, correct? So 1 minus the remaining terms, I can take it as probability of x less than or equal to 1. Just check the calculation. 1 minus probability of less than greater than 1 means what? Greater than 1 are 2 and 3. Correct? So 1 minus probability of x equal to 2 plus probability of x equal to 3. Or simply 1 minus 2 by 16 plus 1 by 16, that will give me 13 by 16. See, this is one more method of doing it. Whichever you feel easy, you can do it. Okay. Hope you are clear with this one. How to take it? If it is less than or equal to 1, I can write it as 1 minus probability of x greater than 1. Correct? Because greater than 1 has very less values, only 2 values. But if you check less than or equal to 1, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. So which is better? I think 2 values are better. Choice is left to you. I have done it in both the methods. So see which method will be helpful for you. Okay, they had asked me the next question. Find probability of x greater than 1. How to do greater than 1? Greater than 1 means which values? X equal to 2 and x equal to 3. So it is 2 by 16 plus 1 by 16, that is 3 by 16. Then minus 1 less than x less than 2. So between minus 1 and 2. See, one more thing, there is no equal to, less than or equal to is not there, it is only less than. So you cannot consider probability of 1 here. Be careful. So you cannot consider probability of minus 1. I can consider between minus 1 and 2. So you should neglect minus 1 and 2. What are coming between minus 1 and 2? 0 and 1. So probability of 1, 0 plus probability of 1, that is 7 by 16. Are you clear? Then how to calculate mean? Mean is nothing but expectation of x, or that is nothing but summation of x into p of x. So summation of x into p of x. So first case it is minus 3 into 1 by 16 plus minus 2 into 2 by 16 plus minus 1 into 3 by 16 and so on. We get the mean as 0. Okay. You calculate it and then they had asked for standard deviation of x. Remember my dear students, read the question carefully. They have asked you what? Standard deviation. How do you get standard deviation? Standard deviation is nothing but what? Root of variance. Okay. So variance is nothing but expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. So first you have to find out variance, and if you take root of variance, we will get standard deviation. So we know that expectation of x is 0. I will find out what is expectation of x square. So expectation of x square is summation of x square into p of x. So it is x square minus 3 the whole square into 1 by 16 plus minus 2 the whole square into 2 by 16 plus minus 1 the whole square into 3 by 16 and so on. So I will get expectation of x square as how much? 5 by 2. So therefore variance is expectation of x square, that is 5 by 2, minus expectation of x the whole square. Expectation of x is how much? 0. So 0 square, we get variance as 5 by 2. But don't stop here, because they had asked me to find out what? Standard deviation. So standard deviation is simply root of variance. So root of 5 by 2. That is your standard deviation. That's it. Clear? Okay. So I have a similar kind of problem here, but this problem is very important. And also I have mentioned something here. Also find the cumulative distribution, or they might simply give it as distribution function of x. The word cumulative distribution or distribution function of x are same, one and the same. Don't get confused. I am repeating again and again. Cumulative distribution or simply distribution function of x are one and the same. So in this problem I will tell you how to calculate that distribution function of x. Okay. Now find the value of k. How to find the value of k? They are telling that it is already a PDF, probability density function or distribution function. So then we know that summation, total summation should be equal to 1. So that is nothing but 0 plus k plus 2k plus 2k plus 3k and so on. It should be equal to 1. So be careful here, we have k square. So 7 plus 2. So 9k square, sorry, 7 plus 2 is 9, 9 plus 1, 10k square plus 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 9k equal to 1 is there. I am taking that 1 to other side. So minus 1 is equal to 0. Clear? Now I got a quadratic equation. So how can I solve that quadratic equation? You can use the calculator, you can find the roots of that. I'll get the values of k as 1 by 10 or k equal to minus 1. Now my dear students, which value should I take for k? Should I take it as 1 by 10 or should I take it as minus 1? See, one thing I'll tell you, this is my first condition, correct? Summation of x, p of x should be equal to 1. What was my one more condition? My one more condition was this probability value should be always what? Positive. So can I take k equal to minus 1 here? No, I cannot take k equal to minus 1. I should take only k equal to 1 by 10. See here. So if k equal to minus 1, then the probability is negative, which is not possible. Therefore, the value of k is 1 by 10. Hope I am clear with how to find the value of k. Now they have asked you some simple questions over here. Find probability of x less than 6. Less than 6 means which one? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 5 we have to add. Or I can take it as how? I said you another easy method. What is that? I can write this less than 6 as 1 minus probability of x greater than or equal to 6. Correct? Correct, one and the same. We'll see it. So I just substituted the values. K as 1 by 10 is nothing but 0.1. 2 by 10 is 0.2. 2 by 10 is again 0.2. 3 by 10 is 0.3. K square 1 by 100 0.01. 2 by 100 0.02. And 7k square plus k, that is 0.17. Okay. So my first question was find the value of k. The k value is 1 by 10. Now my next question is probability of x less than 6. So I was telling you this x less than 6, you can either go on adding from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the best simple way is I can write this as 1 minus probability of x greater than or equal to 6. See, equal to, if it is included here, you should not include here. But here equal to is not included, it is only less than 6. So here we should include 6. Okay. So it will be 1 minus probability of x equal to 6 plus probability of x equal to 7, or that is simply 0.81. This is one of the easiest way of doing. If you are not getting confused with this, less than 6 means you go on adding from probability of 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. You will get the same answer. Okay. I had explained this in the previous method or problem also. Just go through it again. Next, x greater than or equal to 6, already we had calculated here, it will be 0.19. Next, probability of 3 less than x less than or equal to 6. See here, they have said 3 less than x, they have not mentioned less than or equal to. So please don't take 3 here, we should start from 4. So the value of x should be between 3 and 6. So 4 plus 5, why 6 is included? Because there is equal to sign here. So it is probability of x equal to 6. So it is 0.3 plus 0.01 plus 0.02 or simply 0.33. Now comes the important question. Distribution function of x is nothing but summation of I equal to 1 to n into p of xi, which is also called as cumulative distribution. Just check here. You write the values of x here. P of x. First write 0. Next, 0 plus the previous value, I mean the next value. 0 plus 0.1 is 0.1. Next, 0.1 plus 0.2 is 0.3. 0.3 plus 0.2 is 0.5. 0.5 plus 0.3 is 0.8. 0.8 plus 0.01 is 0.81. 0.81 plus 0.02 is 0.83. 0.83 plus 0.17 is 1. So this is nothing but cumulative distribution function. Clear? You have to just go on adding so that your final value when you reach, it should be 1. Hope you are clear with cumulative distribution function. Okay. Okay. I have my next problem here, and this is one of the what I can tell you, it's a confusing and interesting problem also. So those are really interested in probability, this problem is very interesting. Listen carefully. They are telling you that the random variable x takes the values minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 such that p of x is 0, which is same as p of x less than 0. Means what? Up to 0, from minus 3 up to 0 will be having same values, right? See here, p of x is equal to 0 is same as p of x less than 0. Less than 0 means which one? Minus 3, minus 2 and minus 1. Correct? And p P of x equal to minus 3, P of x equal to minus 1, P of x equal to minus 2, P of x equal to minus 1 and P of x equal to 1 are all equal. Find the probability distribution. Okay. So first I'll write table minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. I need to find these values P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7. Okay. Now by data they had given me probability of x is equal to 0 is less than 0 means what? P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P3 is equal to P4. Am I right? Or P4 is nothing but I am sorry P4, that is probability of x equal to 0 is equal to less than 0. Less than 0 means which and all are there? X equal to minus 1, x equal to minus 2 and x equal to minus 3. That is P1, P3 plus P2 plus P1 is equal to P4. One condition I got. Next again by data they had given me P1, that is probability of x equal to minus 3, that is P1 is equal to P2 minus 2 is equal to P3 is equal to P5. 0 they have not said. See here, after minus 1 they have gone for 1 is equal to P5 is equal to P6 is equal to P7. Correct? This is one more data. Now using these two, can you find the values of P1, P2 up to P7? Yes, very easily. See, you know one condition. What is that? When you add all the probabilities, my total sum should be how much? 1. Use that condition. Finished. Problem is done. Now what? P4 is nothing but what? P3 plus P2 plus P1. And what are these all? These are all equal. So I can write 3P1 is equal to P4. Is it so? Because see, P1 is equal to P2. So in the place of P2 I can write P1. In the place of P3 I can write P1. So totally how many P1s here? So 3P1 is equal to P4. Or what is the value of P1 now? So from this we'll get, and one more condition. So next I'll use my second condition in third one. This is my third condition. So now so this is one more condition. P1 equal to P2 equal to P3 equal to, so here you will substitute P1, P2 is nothing but P1 again, 1P1, 2P1, 3P1, 4P1, 5P1, 6P1. Correct? However, 4P1, P4 we know what is that, don't worry. So 6P1 plus, see here, P4 is not there, P4 is independent, so 6P1 plus P4 is equal to 1, correct? If you just substitute it here, this condition, P1 equal to P2 equal to P3 equal to P5 equal to P6 equal to P7, you substitute it here. Means all this P2, 3, 5, 6, 7, you take it as 1. So P1 is 1, P2 is 1 again. So P1 is 1 plus P1, 2P1 plus 3P1. P4 is not there, leave that. 4P1, 5P1, 6P1. 6P1 plus P4 as it is equal to 1. Proper? But what is P4? P4 is nothing but 3P1. So 6P1 plus 3P1 is equal to 1. Or 6 plus 3, 9P1 is equal to 1. Or I can tell P1 is equal to 1 by 9. Then what will be P4? P4 is equal to 3 into 1 by 9, or that is equal to 1 by 3. Then rest remaining values I can write it very easily. Correct? See, I'll repeat again. This is bit confusing, but it is very interesting. Write the conditions. First condition, what they said, probability of x equal to 0 is equal to less than 0. So x equal to 0, what is the notation? P4 is equal to less than 0 means which one? Minus 3, minus 2 and minus 1. So that is P1 plus P3 plus P2 plus P1. Proper? Okay, this is my first condition. Second condition, see here, x equal to minus 3 is same as minus 2 minus 1, but 0 they have not said. 0 means P4. Correct? So P1 is same as P2, that is same as P3, but it is not same as P4 because they have not said that here. X equal to 0 they have not mentioned. That is equal to P5, P6 and P7. These are the two data what they had given me in the question. But I have one more data which is already known, universal known data. What is that? The total probability should be equal to 1. Proper? Now I am using this condition, second condition in my first condition. So now totally there are three conditions. Okay. First condition is P4 ka. Second condition is all these are equal. Third condition is sum is equal to 1. So now I will use my second condition in first one. What is that? P3 plus P2 plus P1. Are they same? Yes, here. P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P3. So I will write this P2 as P1, P3 as P1. So total I will get 3P1 is equal to P4. Proper? Okay. Now again I will use my second condition in third one. What is that? All these are equal, right? So wherever P2, P3, P5, P6, P7 is there, you take it as P1. So count how many P1s are there. 1, 2, 3, don't count P4, 4, 5, 6. So 6 P1 plus P4 is equal to 1. But what is P4? P4 is 3 P1. So 6 plus 3, 9 P1 is equal to 1, or P1 is equal to 1 by 9. Then P4 is 3 by 9. Proper? 3 by 9 is 1 by 3. Then I can write all these values. Since all are equal, if P1 is 1 by 9, obviously P2 is also 1 by 9, P3 is also 1 by 9, P4 is separate, P5 is 1 by 9, P6 is 1 by 9, P7 is 1 by 9. But only P4 is 1 by 3. That's it. Now if you want, you can check, add all these values, you will get total probability as 1. Okay, clear with the problem? Yes. So one more simple problem I have taken here. Show that it's a discrete function and find the mean and variance. Same as the previous one, means the total probability should be equal to 1. Yes. 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8. So I calculated mean and variance. Okay. Yes. So these were all the problems on discrete probability functions. So in the next video I'll explain the problems on continuous, means integration one. Okay. So if you have any doubts or any confusions in this discrete probability function problems, you kindly contact me. Thank you. So my dear students, before that, before signing off, I'll just tell you, write the formulas, make a table, continuous, discrete, how to find out mean and variance, then only it will be easy for you, or else it will be very difficult. Okay, what and all you have to write? First is condition. What are those two conditions? That is summation of x should be equal to 0, 1, and all the probability value should be always positive. First condition. Then you write what is mean, how to calculate mean and how to calculate variance, and also standard deviation. Okay. So first write this and keep, then only start with the problems. Then it will be very easy for you to understand. So thank you. We will meet you again in the next video.